What is going on, everybody? Thank you so much for joining What's the 411. It is already April 15th. And I don't know about you, but if you didn't get outside today, you were joking around because today was a beautiful, beautiful day. All right. But thank you guys so much for joining me. Today, of course, I have another fabulous guest from right here in the greatest or one of the greatest cities of all time, Toronto, Mr. Orville. So go ahead, introduce yourself, let everybody know all of the fabulous things that you have going on. Don't hold back. Let us know. Let us know.
Awesome. Good afternoon, everyone. Hope everyone is in great health and a great mindset. I mean, the weather is changing now, so everybody is getting ramped up to have some fun. My name is Orville Williams, as my friend just said. I don't know why she called me Orville Williams. Nobody called me by that name.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It's all right. It's all right. But it's your boy, The Journey, checking in. You don't know. Jamaica born and raised, moved to Canada about 14 years now. Um, if I should speak of the beautiful things in my life, first and foremost, I'm going to speak about my wife and my kids. So that's my backbone. That's everything to me. That's my first ministry. I'm a gospel artist. I'm a musician. I'm a producer. I'm an artist manager. I'm a great friend. I'm a father. I'm a child of God. What else?
The
You
list
know,
goes on and on. He's creative,
God,
artistic. He's got all.
I'm a creative, everything, and I'm also an entrepreneur in the city of Toronto. I have a business, a maintenance business that I run in the city, and yeah, full time ministry, full time husband. That's the main goal.
Okay. So just before we jumped on, we were talking about how as a creative, you just aren't sitting tight doing one thing. You got to do this and you got to do that. So talk to us a
Yeah,
little bit about all the different things that you're doing because you got a lot going on.
yeah, I do. I do have a lot going on, and my friends are still confused. Most of my friends are still confused as to how I balance everything. But that's the key, balance. Right? You can't pay too much attention to one thing and leave one thing. Like, I mean, I'm in music, and a lot of people who get involved in music, even especially at a young age, they get to spend less time with their family because of music and ministry and all that. But just have to find balance. So being a creative man for me, I prioritize. So every year, every month, every week, every day, I have a priority list. And whatever is not on that list is gonna really find it hard to make it on my to get in my way, in my schedule. So I think it's all about balance, being a creative and being good at what you do and to, excel in all the areas or the gifts that you've been given by God. I think you have to learn how to balance everything.
Balance definitely is key.
Yep.
Um, so talk to us about where the music journey began.
Yeah. This is a funny story. My music journey actually began so according to me, according to the journey, my music, my music journey actually began when my mom was giving birth to me. So it was a very difficult birth. They say I was a stubborn child. I would not come out, and for some reason, my grandmother she went over to my mom's on her tummy, and she was like mock playing the piano on her tummy, and she was singing this song, "Pressing On." I'm pressing on. And I actually did a remix for that song because of that situation. I had to record that song. So that's where everything began. And so my musical gift, everything that I do musically was not school taught. It was all self-taught. So it was a gift that I was born with. So basically, I've been in music from birth. So from that to the church stage, to school, JCDC festivals, everything, I just couldn't avoid music. Even if I go to a church and say, okay, I just want to sit and listen. For some reason, I always get, I always get involved in the music, and I'm also a worship leader.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh. So where did you get the name The Journey?
so my name was Chosen. I started out being the chosen one, and then mean, all of us are chosen, right? Well, many are called, few. That's not me. That's the Bible. So it was chosen at first. I mean, from like 2010, 11, 12. A lot of people knew me as chosen, but there was another chosen in Jamaica.
Okay.
and then it was causing a bit of a conflict. So, I was just talking to my friends one day, and we were talking. I was like, "Yo, we're all on a journey, and everybody's journey is different." And I just like, you know what? It was a joke. I was like, "I'm chosen for my journey," and that's how the name came about. It's actually chosen the journey,
Oh,
right? But I just dropped the chosen and just said the journey.
okay,
Yeah, it
okay.
rolls off the tongue better.
Easy, easier. Oh gosh. So talk to us about like, did you always know that you were going to be in the Christian music industry, or did that happen like later on in the game?
Well, I've had my fair share of the world, to be honest.
Mm,
I was born and raised in the church. Um, I've been in church all my life, but there was a period of my life where I wasn't in God. I was of God, but not in God. So we in the world, we do our thing. We give a little trouble on the here and there and all that. But I always knew music was gonna be something that I would do. I just never knew how.
mm,
So it's like God is like, let's say God show you the destination, but he does not show you the journey. Because if he really show you everything that's gonna happen leading up to that, you probably will change your mind or walk away from some of the difficulties, you know, or choose it because of some of the nice things. So um I always knew music was gonna be my thing, but I just never know how. So to be honest with you, it's one day at a time until I get to that destination, you know. And it's all about pleasing God. So as long as I'm pleasing God and I know God is pleased with what I'm doing, I think that's good enough for me.
hmm
Sorry.
So what was it like that pivotal point where you were like, okay, I'm going to leave the world behind and start living for God?
Well, my Damascus, I always call it, is um I was in the world giving a lot of trouble. I remember one time I was adopted by my father's uncle. He was rich. So I grew up kind of rich, high scale in Jamaica. And he said to me, but having that kind of life also come with its own share of, because I had cars, money, stuff like that. So, you had the friends and you know how it go when you have the money and the friends and everything. So yeah, my brothers and I one night were traveling to Mandeville and we got in a serious. Let me say this though. I got saved more than once and I got baptized more than once.
Yeah.
I mean, as a Jamaican, a lot of people can relate. You know what I mean? There's a time in your life where you go to church and the pastor talk some things and I got dead and this or that. You be like, yo, I gotta give my life to God. But 2 days after you see say you're not dead, you be like, what?
Yeah,
you
that's
know,
life. That's
back to basic. But
Mhm.
so after that we had that car accident and it was a section of my life that I even to this day I never understand. It's like I went to I had an accident. It's like right after the accident I went to jail, and then right after the jail is like everything just my whole life just fall apart. It was through friends, it was through things I got involved with that I wasn't supposed to. And it was after that moment, I was also called into the police force like right in that same period of time.
Wow.
And because of some of the stuff that happened right before that, I had to sit out of the force. They said I had to do some investigation, whatever. So I ended up going to Hart, Ebony Park Hart Academy, and that's where I was. It's a boarding school, but I
hmm
was there and I was pinned down with shame and disgrace, and I just never want to go back to my community because I've been through so much, and it was, you know, from a guy who had everything, now you have nothing, and people just, you know how it is. People
Yeah.
gonna laugh at you, talk. So God had to really break me right down. And it was when I was in that school, I was in that school for about 3 or 4 months and I never say a word to anybody. I would just go, we had dorm beds and I would just drop my sheet down. I would just cry. I would just cry. I had I literally, I wouldn't say a breakdown, but I was really, I was really depressed.
hmm
I went through a phase that I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. And, it was at that moment I said, God, you know what? If all through this and everyone who left, and you are still here. You're the only one I can talk to. You're the one who. And that was my moment. This was like 2008, 9, 2008, yeah, 2009. And I told myself, you know what? there's a calling on my life, and I don't want to run anymore. And I
Mm-hmm.
said, God, just use me for your will. And ever since then, I've had my fair share of, you know, times I fall, I made mistakes, but I made a contract with God, and I'm willing to keep my part.
Wow. Okay, guys, we're over here getting the full scoop, you know.
Everything. Things I never thought
Every,
before.
right? Oh my gosh. Okay, okay. So then
Yeah.
there's a lot of things that must inspire your music. Talk to us about where you draw inspiration to make your music.
My inspirations for my music comes from a lot of place. I gotta be honest, I'm a guy who listens to every type of music.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't box myself in because, you know, in order to understand a battle, you have to study the war or study the wars before. You know, you can't just keep coming with the same attacks, the same menu, everything. You have to switch it up sometimes. So for me personally, as a Christian and as a child of God, to understand a lot of things that Christians will shy away from because they say it's demonic or evil, I try to understand it because that's the only way I can defeat it.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
know, so my inspiration come from anything. I can be walking down the road, I just see a guy, I can just give a guy some money, somebody can just say something to me. You know, I just try to take every good even out of every bad. I pull something from it and just make it history, you know, so people can relate. And that's how my life is. Even my songs, my music, everything is relatable. If you want to know me, listen to my songs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know what? Just as you're saying that your music is definitely like it's a mix, you know?
Yeah.
We're not gonna, when we listen to your music, we're not gonna hear like one beat, one type
No.
of rhythm. No, like it's all
No.
different. You just dropped this tune on Friday, Yahweh.
Yeah.
Talk to us about the inspiration behind that one there.
Yahweh is, you know, actually Sony G he contacted me. He's like, bro, I want to work on a EP. And he
Mm-hmm.
said, oh, we need a church song, you know. And it was Jason Mighty who actually, because we always together, me, Jason, and Sony G, because we're here in Canada. So Jason Mighty had this chorus, the Yahweh, and then, you know, Sonji, he had to come up with the verses because I'm like, bro, it's your song, you know what I mean? But then both of them look at me and be like, well, you have to come up with the beat. I'm like, all right. You know, so the inspiration behind that song is just us being in this space. It was right in the studio. We were just here vibing. I would say, you know what, we just had some prayers and we say, you know, we just want to do something churchy, something to kind of bridge the gap, because as you know, we do like more dancehall beat, not music. We do dancehall beat gospel,
Yeah,
you know. But we are all coming from the church. So even though people see us do dancehall, it doesn't mean that, because I'm a worship leader. It's just
right.
that I just feel like I express more, I can tell my story more doing dancehall, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that all the inspiration from that song was just us vibing off each other, and we just wanted to just give Yahweh some praise, man. So we just said Yahweh, you know, and deal with it. Yeah,
It's a nice tune still. I was listening to it and I'm like, okay, all right, I hear
thank
it.
you,
Very
thank you,
nice. Very
thank
nice.
you. Gotta big up Tishara as well. One of my friends, Tishara Briscoe. She was here as well, and she did some background vocals for us and things. So yeah,
Oh,
man.
nice community. All you guys working together is very nice to see. It's a beautiful
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
Hmm.
it is.
Hmm. So, do you remember your first song?
Nope. I
What's the
have so many
first?
songs. Oh
Yeah.
my God.
So, what's the
Oh,
first one that you can say maybe made an impact, or you kind of could remember um performing it or something?
the first song I have that made an impact. I mean, the first set of songs I
Mhm.
have that made impacts were never released,
Okay.
right? So actually, they're still in my friend's studio. It's just the other day we were talking about it. I'm like, bro, we gotta release those songs, you
Yeah.
know. But I think the first official song that I released is a song I have on YouTube called oh my God, what's the name of that song again? Oh, jeez, I soon tell you. I don't remember the name, but it's a song about I don't remember the name. But I soon tell you. Don't worry.
Yeah.
To show you how I don't really place focus on the. I just work.
Yeah.
I just work.
Yep.
You know, keep going, keep going. Hands up, keep going. That's the song. And that was in COVID. That was one of my that song is, because it was a point in my life where like I just felt like everything stopped,
Hmm.
and I had to encourage myself and my family. My wife had COVID and she wasn't doing too well and everything, and I just came up with that song. It's like, keep going, keep going.
Hmm.
Yeah, so keep going.
Keep going. And so
Yeah.
what about performing your first time on a stage? Do you
Mhm.
remember?
Yeah, so I used to well, as I said, like performance for me it came kind of natural because I was always leading worship.
Okay.
Right. So I was a worship leader in church like every Sunday. So even going to a concert and ministering, I think can't remember which one exactly, to be honest with you, because I do a lot of shows.
Hmm.
But I just love um honoring God with other people. It's just a great feeling when you're in a space and it's just not you alone, and everybody just in one accord, and it's just, there's no judgment, it's just pure worship. That I love that.
Yeah.
You
Very.
know,
So why do you think Christian music is so important?
it helps to create a balance.
Yeah.
And right now the scale is a little bit tilted because I don't think we're doing enough. We have to move past complaining about everything that's not happening and start to do what's supposed to happen. You
Yeah.
know, we look at the secular guys and they put out songs every day, every week, every minute,
Hmm.
you know, um, and there's not enough to, equate, so majority sometimes will win because it's what's present, right? And people are gonna make use of what's present. So I think Christian music is really important because it keeps a balance of everything that's going on, and it's not just balance, it's a balance for encouragement, it's a balance for hope, it's a balance of also knowing that Christ is still doing miracles, God is still present in spite of everything that's going on. We need that balance because we can't get discouraged based if we look around us and look at the news and everything. We need the other side of the scale has to be lifted up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. So just as you were talking about keep going, and you're talking now about, making sure that we have that balance, talk to us about some things that, people need to remember because we all go through rough times. There's hills and valleys in everybody's life. And sometimes we just need that encouragement or, that motivation to just, as you said, to just keep going. So what are some things that helps you to keep going?
Your circle of friends, and functioning in your gift. I mean, when you find that, I know so many of us Christians who are not operating, with our gifts. We have gifts, and because of life situation, and fear is a big factor that we have to learn to get over in order to keep moving. Even starting a business, fear. I always stress fear. Fear can hold you back in so many ways. You know, so we have to find a way how to get over that. We have to find, people to communicate with, people who can understand us, people who can envision what we are envisioning also. Sometimes not everybody can see what you're seeing.
Hmm.
So you have sometimes when you find people who are actually, sometimes they can't even see it, but they're willing to trust your movements and say, you know what, okay, if that's what you see, I'm gonna help you to get there. So those are things that you need to have, to keep you going. You need to have stability. We have to we need you need love, because you need grace, you know. You have to make sure your home is in order as well. I always ask God, like, I don't want to go try and change the world, super world, when my mini world here is in shambles. So I said, God, give me the grace to keep my surrounding and my immediate, safe. It'll give me show, because if I can't minister to this, then how am I gonna, you know? So there are certain things that you have to order to, to absorb, in order to have that balance to keep going. And it's not easy. It's not easy. Life is tough. Life is tough, even with money, even with everything. They say money, more problems. So people might see people who are moving and excelling and feel like there's, trust me, there's a lot of issues that come with that too. So, sometimes we also have to appreciate God on every level we are,
Mm,
and don't be red eye, look at people and, yeah, oh, I want to be that. No, be you. Focus on what you want to do and try to do the best. If you should close your eyes tonight and you don't wake up tomorrow morning, like, just before you close your eyes tonight, just ask yourself, did I accomplish everything that I am? Did I do everything I should do today? Did I call everybody I should call today? You know, we have a tendency to put things off. Oh, tomorrow, next week. When God was creating the earth, he did it in 7 days and then rest. He never say, okay, I'm going to do the sea next week. Just hold on. I'll do it. you know, what if he had done
very
that?
true.
So we have to learn how to act, function in completeness. There's a peace, there's a peace that surpasses understanding when you complete a task,
Mm,
and that also keeps you going, you know, acting in completeness and not just half and half. Give your whole self. Do what you gotta do. Press on, man.
mm. That is a whole word right there, like
Right?
he got the word work done and then he was, you know what
Then
I
you
mean?
rest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Then move on to something else.
It's
Yeah.
so true because it's easy to, write a list and
Yeah.
start getting things done and then just be like, oh, you know what? Tomorrow's another day. I'll
Yeah.
just finish up
Yeah.
tomorrow. But,
Exactly.
should really try to get everything done you
Try.
can.
At least try.
Yeah.
As I'm speaking to you, I'm speaking to myself because I still have a lot of songs I need to get out the studio. You know, you know. So I'm not speaking from perfection, but more from perception.
Yeah.
Of how we should act.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
100%. You were mentioning about COVID too. A lot of people had a little bit of a difficult time. You mentioned that your wife wasn't well. Talk to us about how you guys managed through COVID because COVID was a crazy time.
Yeah, it was. I had a couple people that I knew well who passed away
Hmm.
from the States, and I know a lot of people who got real sick. No, I got it. Um and I think my wife had it, but she didn't know. But as soon as I got it, she had it. I
Yeah.
don't know how that worked. It's like they called me and was like, yeah, you have COVID. And my wife was like, yeah, I'm not feeling well. I'm like, all right, that
Gosh.
means you have it too. But it hit her real hard. She was like, oh man, it was bad. She was on the couch for like 3 days. And then I had it, right? So, and then she got it that bad that even while having it, I had to keep going.
Yeah.
I had to do all the functions of the family still, even while being sick. I tell you, man, this thing, for better for worse, it's not a joke, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a joke. It's not a joke. And it's on every level and in everything, and COVID was just that time where a lot of people were just so unsure of everything. You know, there was no work, you couldn't go outside. I mean, I work outside,
Hmm.
right? All of my clients was like a lot of, and I work for a lot of rich people, like, and they're like, yeah, what I mean? They could afford to lock away for a year, you
Yeah.
know, but we just had to. I just thank God that we made it. A lot of people didn't, but I thank God that I'm here today to speak of it, you know, and to it was definitely an experience,
For
definitely
sure.
an experience. Yeah, yeah,
It was a wild time. I
it was
keep
what.
saying, to people, I'm like, I wonder if anybody was kind of documenting what was happening during COVID because we're going to look back in like 20,
Yeah,
30 years and be like, we went through that, you
yeah,
know? It was a
yeah.
lot.
I don't think we knew everything that happened because so much people were just focused on trying to get through that
Hmm.
they weren't even thinking. Remember, you couldn't even see your mom. You couldn't even go
Yep.
visit. Like, it was crazy,
It was crazy. Yep.
So, but it was definitely a time. It's set in history. Will
Yeah,
be
for
remembered,
sure.
especially
Lining
for those
up
people
for
who lost.
food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, talk about that. I had
But
to. I
you're
had to
right.
be. I had to become a homeopathic doctor. I was making all type of medicine.
Right? You
Stuff
know?
I was
Going
boiling
back
onion
in
and
the
garlic.
books, yeah, going back in the books of what our parents used to be
Yeah,
trying to, you
yeah,
know? Oh
Yeah.
man. But you're right. There was a lot of people that we lost as well during that
Yeah.
time, you know? It was a very difficult time. A very difficult time. Yes. So like there's it's not easy from what I understand because I am no musician. I am not in the industry at all, but I hear that sometimes it can be a little bit difficult to, get your foot in the door when it comes to being in the music industry. Do you have like any tips for anybody that they love music, they have a passion for it and they really want to put themselves out there?
Yeah. My first tip is gonna be keep knocking.
Hmm.
Even Bible tell you say knock and it will be open. You understand? Be yourself. Like we don't want another Kirk Franklin. We don't want another exactly. Be yourself. That's the only thing that's gonna set you apart, you know? And sometimes it's, you might see a trend and you feel like, yeah, if you jump on that trend, I mean, you can use it wisely, use it to get to a certain level and then get back to who you are, you know? So, and if you're a young artist or a young producer, you got to understand why you're doing what you do. If it's something that, for me, I would, even if there wasn't no iTunes, Spotify, nothing, I would still be doing music. It's a
Hmm.
love, it's a passion that I have for music. So you gotta really know, if this is something that you would do without getting paid. And that, I think, for especially for music, that's the first balance thought, because you have to do a lot of work before you start getting paid. A whole lot.
Wow.
So everything I am as a musician today was like, it's an investment from a different source, right? But if you love what you do and believe in what you do, then your side hustle or your main hustle can actually support your gift. And I think over the years, that is what I have done. And it has worked for me, and I'm very consistent. You have to be consistent at anything you're doing. It's not even just music. It's like, honestly, music is like any other thing. You have to be consistent. You have to be very persistent, chase after exactly what you want, and have a mind of your own and just know what you want,
Hmm.
So yeah. So if I was to, that's my advice to anybody. And just have fun. Don't overthink. Don't overstress. Just have fun. Be yourself. Love what you do and love yourself. It's gonna show in your music.
Okay. Um, so what do you guys have coming up this year? Where can we expect to see you in 2024?
So as I was mentioning to you earlier, I'm also on the aspect of I'm an artist manager as well.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna be a lot of places. This weekend I'm supposed to be in Jamaica, supposed to have fun in the sun. Yeah, my artist supposed to perform there, and I'm supposed to be there. And then we have a couple of shows in New York and Florida coming up. Me personally, for myself, I have a lot of music coming out that I'm working with. DJ Nicholas, Jason Mighty, Sony G, Christy Ambassador, um, Minister Tough in England, and of course my artist Prince Sarge and a couple of our other artists in the city here. So we have Gospel Fest coming up in August. That's Jason Mighty's Gospel Fest last year. We had Positive, and it was a really good event. So something to look forward to. I have a couple shows for myself coming up here and there. I think one in July, one in June. They're coming in. They're coming in. One time we never have nothing, but now we have shows are coming in. We're blessed.
Nice. Very
Blessed. But but they will always be on my social. So, my
nice.
booking agent, my wife is my booking agent, so she kind of keep me posted on those things. So I really don't. Maybe I have events and I don't even know. Yeah, honestly.
Well,
you know.
that's a blessing that you guys are working together. That's
Yeah.
beautiful. That's a beautiful
Yeah.
thing. Talk to us.
Yeah.
I mean, you did mention it a little bit about, that marriage is it for better or for worse, I think you said is a serious thing. So talk to us a little bit about it. Inspire the people about how important marriage is.
Am I talking to the people that are married or the people that want to be married?
It doesn't matter. You're talking to the people in general,
Everybody
all
was
of the
married
above.
anyway.
Yeah.
All right. Marriage. Everybody always asks me the journey. Because I didn't even know this, but some of my friends just like, bro, I look up to you. Like you're the one that doing the family thing. And Jason Mighty called me Father of the Year every year. It was like, bro, if nobody has given an award, I'm giving it to you. But I grew up knowing my dad, but he wasn't present, right? As I told you before too, I was adopted, so I was bounced between houses. So my family structure or family life that I grew up with was something that I said to myself I would never want to happen to my child. So that was one of my goals into finding, the virtuous woman. And
Mhm.
I prayed for her. I mean, I've made my fair share of mistakes before, but God finally, what's yours is yours. No, is it?
Yeah. Yep.
So she finally came to me, and we got married. We're gonna be celebrating our fourth or 13th year. No, we actually did in February, 13 years.
Wow,
Wow,
congratulations.
feel old.
Wow, that's beautiful, man.
Yeah, and we have three beautiful kids. And
Nice.
marriage is not a how did I break it down now? So when they ask me, how do you make marriage? How marriage is really not a word.
Mm.
It's a verb. You have to do marriage.
Oh,
It's
so
not
that.
like we get married today and then yeah, we're married now. No, that's it. That's not it. Marriage is every single day. It's everything that you do that makes it work. So putting on that ring is just the initial contract of saying, yes, we're going to try to do something and make it work. And that should be the goal. It's not that you're with me, so you're going to be this and I'm going to be this. No,
Mm.
we are going to make this work. You know, this is it. Wherever you fall short, I fill in. So I always get perplexed about, guys who complain of their wives don't this or the wife don't that. I'm like, I hate laundry. My wife don't like to cook. So I cook, she does laundry. Argument done.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So it's just, picking up where the other person falls short. And that has been my secret code and it worked for me, you know, and try not to go to your bed angry. Talk communication is key. You need to know if you have something to talk about, just spill it out. Even if it make you upset, take a break. And I walk away from arguments as well. Yeah. Yeah. I walk away till it gets cool and I come back and discuss it. So marriage is really a verb. You have to make it work.
Mhm. That is like the perfect way of breaking it down, you
Pretty
know?
much.
Yeah, because I actually just did a docu-series on Black love
Yeah.
and put out an episode today, and the episode today is actually about marriage. So
Hmm.
that is perfect. You know, perfect segue to the episode. But I never heard anybody say it like that. It's actually an action. It has to be, you
It
have
has
to
to
put
be
it every day.
every day. It's
Wow.
waking up in the morning. As long as both of you are alive, marriage continue.
Mm-hmm.
The work continue. That's it. Then when kids are involved, more work for the marriage. Because now it's not just me and you. Now you got to think about everything. You
Yeah.
know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I don't believe in abuse, but I honestly I think if two people are with each other and they love each other and they think about what they're doing, yeah, we all
Yep.
make mistake. We all make mistakes. It's gonna happen, you know what I mean? But we're all humans, But if you think about what you're doing, short term and long term, you can actually sometimes predict how it's gonna affect you, and it will allow you to adjust your thoughts as you go along and your decisions.
Wise words, guys. Wise words, all right? Okay. So talk to us about where we can listen to your music. Where can we tap into the journey?
The journey production is I would like it to be everywhere. And I wish I could say go check the billboard, but no. Um,
Soon, soon. Put it
what
out
we
there.
I know. um, I am the journey production on Instagram. I am the journey on Facebook, and I have two Instagram page actually. I have my artist page, which is I am the journey, and my production page, which I do all my music, is I am the journey production. And I'm on TikTok as well, over there doing a little thing every now and then. So still, I am the journey. So once you go, I am the journey everywhere. I think you can find me there. I'm on YouTube. I am the Journey Production. Same, I am the Journey. Spotify, iTunes, everywhere. I am the Journey. I am the Journey.
All right. Okay, and so talk to us about like if you have any shout outs, anybody you want to say what's up to.
I want to shout out you and your program.
Thank you. Appreciate
Yeah.
it.
I appreciate you reaching out. I appreciate being here. I don't take these things for granted because there's so many people, so many other people that you could have called. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I want to shout out my wife, my only love.
Yes.
I want to shout out my kids, and I want to give a big shout out to my big bro, DJ Nicholas, Jason Mighty, Sony G, my friend Tishara, and I just want to give a huge shout out to everybody that's out there that's trying to make life work. Just
Mhm.
want to let you know that you can do it. Just keep going.
Keep going. And it was actually Jermaine Cohen who gave me your contact information. So I want to
I won't
say
even I won't even shout out Jeremy and Cohen, because that's my bro. Like, that's my blood. That guy is my. I just talked to him.
yeah,
I can't even say what Jermaine mean to me. Jermaine is one of the best friends you could ever have. Like, even not talking to Jermaine for 10 years, and then you guys link up, is like you guys talked yesterday.
yeah.
So let me take the opportunity to say, bro, I love you, man. Love you. You're my bro. You're my friend. You're really my party. And we just recorded a song last week, so he's gonna come kill it too. You know.
Okay. All right.
So big
Nice.
up yourself, Jeremy, Mr. Cohen, my bro for life. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah. All right. Well, I just want to thank you as well. I appreciate you coming on and answering the message, to
Yeah.
come out here and share your inspiring story with us. So thank you very much. And but before I let you go, I always like to leave the guests with like a motivational or inspirational word. I mean, you gave us so many words
All
today.
right.
Already, but still, if you have something that you kind of get up every day and you say to yourself, maybe it's a scripture, maybe it's just a quote, I don't know, but is there anything that you would like to leave us with today before you go?
Before I go, I'll say, and I'll remind you to trust in the Lord with all your heart. And the Lord, not everybody. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, not some. And lean not to your own understanding, but in all your ways, not some, acknowledge him. And he will, not maybe, direct your path. So your journey shall be a successful one. As everybody have a journey.
Very true. Very true. All
Much
right.
blessings.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
You're
And
most welcome.
so make sure you guys don't skip a beat. Head on to all of his social media platforms. They just released a song, Yahweh, on Friday, I believe.
Right,
And
yeah.
so, yeah, you'll see that on Instagram, but you want to check the actual tune note on YouTube, Spotify, hit them all up. Make sure that you're hitting that like and subscribe button as well. And one of my favorite tunes, I told him already, is Find a Way. I told Sony G too that song right there, I just don't know, but it is like my daughter says it's a banger, mom. So,
Wow.
that's it.
Big up to your daughter.
You
Wherever
know,
she there.
I'm telling you that tune right there is very nice. But thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for joining. I appreciate you. We definitely want to keep in touch. So if there's anything that you have going on, just let me know. I'll make sure I post it on all my socials as well.
Sure.
All
Got you
right.
locked in. Don't worry.
Okay.
All right.
All right, guys. You know what it is. Next week, we are going to have another fabulous guest with another fabulous story. So make sure you keep it locked right here on What's the 411. Don't slip. Make sure. All right. Just check my page and you'll see who's coming up next. All right, guys. This is What's the 411, where everybody's story matters. I'll see you next week.